You know, June 6th marks the 75th anniversary of D-Day, and while still a living memory for a few, for many, including millennials, it is a distant chapter in our history. To honor this infamous day and to help millennials learn more about the invasion, author, historian, reporter Mark Weismuller contributed two important chapters to this new book out, D-Day, 75th Anniversary, A Millennial's Guide. He joins me now. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. Fine.
So when I saw this come in our emails, I'm like, we've got to do this segment because I think this is so important. Talk about how the book kind of came together and why you wanted to be involved in getting millennials up to date on the historical significance of D-Day.
Well, the millennials know of it, but I don't believe they necessarily know all the details. And that's not necessarily because of any one, let's say, fallacy or anything. It's just the fact they're young. So I was assigned two chapters to write in the book by my editor, and my editor is actually based in California. And interestingly, in these days of internet communications, I never met the man.
kind of appropriate, right?
Right. But I was in email and telephone contact with him, so that's how the project evolved.
And this project, I don't know if you can tell from the cover, but up close you can see it's actually a gentleman taking a selfie in front of pictures from D-Day, I'm assuming, which I think that is very impactful there. You know, I was sharing with you and sharing with some of our team. I actually have been to the beaches of Normandy, and I remember going there. My dad was the one that was really excited to be able to see that, and he knew more of the historical significance than I did from when I was there, let alone the millennials. What do you want millennials to get out of that as generations do get older, and we want these messages to still live and show the importance of it?
I guess the simple fact now, like to carry on the tradition, carry on the handing down of the stories, the numerous stories that have evolved out of D-Day and even actually after D-Day.
One of the things too, and actually I'm going to pull this book because I want to get this right, one of the areas that you wrote about, you said cooperation and personal sacrifice. I think that's a term, especially the word sacrifice, that you hear older generations use more often than you hear younger generations. Why was it important for you to specifically talk about sacrifice when it comes to the D-Day and just instill that message?
Because I'm not sure if the millennials realize how much they sacrificed, they being the World War II generation. And not only myself, but actually readers of the book will find it's a common thread in all of the chapters through all the writers who contributed chapters, the topic of sacrifice.
Well, you and I were chatting too. You have a journalism background and of course politics, and you've been all over the world, and to be able to put your experience, your education, the things that you've been able to live into a book like this, was that part of you just kind of helping to educate the younger generations?
I believe so. I think so, yes.
So in moving forward with a book like this, what do you hope people come away knowing? What do you hope people come away feeling, perhaps, especially on this Memorial Day?
I would guess the simple fact would just be, as I said previously, just to remember, just to learn all of the basics of journalism, the who, what, where, when, why, and how of D-Day. Many people don't know it, not just millennials, actually many older people know it. So we're encouraging people to read the book and learn about D-Day as much as possible, when it should not, I don't believe it should just be for Memorial Day or just for the 75th anniversary, which is June 6th, but there should be interest in it all year long.
No question about it. Well, you know what, people, I have had the pleasure of talking with you. You're actually chatting with some other people as well and even signing a few books. Explain the event that's coming up.
Yes, on May 28th at 6:30 up north at the Lutz Library, I'll be giving a 1-hour book talk about the book. The first half hour will be myself discussing D-Day, and then the second half hour will be a discussion of the book itself.
I'm so glad that we're doing this. Again, I think this is such a great idea. Thank you for coming in and sharing it, and thank you for writing this book so we can continue to tell generations about the importance of D-Day.
Thank you. I appreciate it.